Raising awareness about nicotine abuse. If you or a friend is addicted to vaping, learn more at heynorm.org. Did you know 11.6% of Americans said they smoked cigarettes? 5.9% of students said they use some kind of e-cigarette. Smoking and vaping affects teens more than adults. They have the #1 preventable cause of death in the U.S. alone.
My name is Mr. Gross, or Andy Gross, and my school is Southwest High School.
My name is Evelyn. I am a Southwest High School student and I will be going into sophomore year.
I took a little survey on this one of my health classes, and a lot of students were saying maybe about like 50, maybe a little higher, at this site.
I would reckon I would say 2/3.
In the 1970s, a researcher named Alexander conducted some eye-opening experiments with rats that changed how we think about addiction. He found that when rats were isolated in a cage, they would choose drug-laced water over plain water until they overdosed. But then he had a brilliant idea. What if the environment mattered? So he created rat parks, where the rats could socialize, play, and explore. In this new setting, the rats surprisingly preferred plain water and only occasionally sipped from the drug-laced bottles. They didn't obsess over the drugs like their lonely counterparts. This showed that a supportive community can actually beat the power of addiction, highlighting the importance of social connections and overcoming challenges. This relates to what the student and teacher said. There are resources. Everyone can find a community. Together, those can help fight a nicotine addiction. The problem is accessibility.
The district should definitely be requiring more students across middle school and and high schools to be required to take a health class and to learn the true effects of such as nicotine, weed, all sorts of drugs. I believe that it should be enforced on every single student who has to graduate in order to take these classes. I would reckon I would say 2/3, and the reason why I say this is because I think that a lot of the majority of students who smoke nicotine or do weed is because they do it not because they aren't aware of the effects, but because they need something to distract themselves.
Talking about how great of a community Minneapolis is in terms of just a sober community, and so I know it's not quite the same, as maybe an addiction to alcohol or drugs of some sort. Nicotine is a drug, but again, just really making things a little more aware for everyone. And then again, just pointing those resources.
I believe this problem has gone out of hand. Do I think Minneapolis actually cares? I would have to say to a certain extent. I believe that the school district does not want to allocate many resources to solving the problem, especially since this problem is such a hard thing to solve in general, and it's a repeated issue that's been going on for we don't know how long. Yes.
I do think Minneapolis, the district and the city as a whole, does care. I do think this problem, my concern around nicotine use, especially around teens, I think it will be improved. Anytime soon. Unfortunately, I don't know if it will. I just saw some studies again that there's been nicotine poisoning amongst nicotine pouches in young people. And the flavoring, and we talked about that in my health class, the vaping and the accessibility piece again. So unfortunately, I don't think anytime soon, but hopefully in the future.
Why did those rats die? Why is this study relevant? This next minute will explain how it affects you, as well as why it is extremely hard to stop once you are hooked. Smoking and vaping have serious health impacts. Both are considered harmless, but this is misleading. Nicotine is highly addictive and reaches the brain quickly. It creates a buzz, but leads to strong addiction over time. Strains the heart, increasing blood pressure and heart rate. Traditional cigarettes contain thousands of harmful chemicals, many causing cancer. Vaping is not just water. It has chemicals and heavy metals harmful to lungs that still have been proven to cause cancer. The worst part is the more you take, the more your body builds resistance to nicotine, making each buzz feel weaker. According to the UCSF, one vape has the amount of nicotine 20 cigarettes have. Vapes are not better than cigarettes, yet they are popular in teens.
I would say the biggest thing is definitely the brain anatomy and some of the physiology. So I talk a lot about the frontal cortex. That's not fully developed until age 25. I think one big thing is that, it involves a lot of decision making and cognitive functions and memory. And so talking about nicotine use, and abuse, especially in teenagers, can definitely affect that.
I'd reckon I see teenagers using nicotine probably in the school bathrooms, definitely every single day. I believe that it not only is harmful, but it does make me uncomfortable.
Quitting offers many resources and support options. Benefits include increased energy, better breathing, and a healthier future. Finding a community will also help a lot. There are many programs available. Best part, most programs are free. Even though most schools and districts don't do enough to stop nicotine abuse, you can make a change. Please help a friend, relative, or yourself if you are struggling.